Hey everybody, how's it going? We're going to have a little bit of fun because I love this lady to death, and Mr. Shepherd is one of my little heroes that I like. Everything he's done, but we're going to talk to Kelly today. Hopefully, TG won't catch us talking to her. So we're going to have some fun, and we're going to see what Miss Kelly has been up to. Kelly, how you doing, hon?
I am busy. I have been promoting a new single that's coming out this Friday for an upcoming project. The album is called Jealous Green Eyes, but
Hmm.
we've released now one single called I Reach for Red, and the second single is called Hollywood.
Yeah.
And when you go to writing and producing and creating videos and photo shoots and stuff, it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes into doing an album.
Yeah, it really is. But the one thing I liked is the title of the song. Because when you say it, a lot of people are thinking, did that mean Hollywood?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to look at the spelling of it.
Yeah, originally we wrote the song. I wrote it with a friend of mine, Lee Roy, he's a singer, and he was with the Roys, the bluegrass group.
Yeah.
We wrote it a few years back, and it's about a girl named Holly who would do anything it takes to make it in Hollywood. And so we just thought it would be a fun twist of words to change up the spelling a little bit to make people go, what? Did I
Yeah.
misread that, or did they misspell that, kind of thing? And it's played in our favor, actually. But it's this song is a little spicy. I have to tell everybody. It's PG-13 at least, but
Yeah.
it's a part of this bigger project called Jealous Green Eyes, and the whole album is a little adult content, and it fit perfectly into the project.
Put a little raciness to it.
It's a little racy. I'm old enough to be racy at this point.
Well, right. I said something the other day, and somebody, I forgot where I was at, but they turned around and looked at me and they said, "You shouldn't talk like that." And I turned around and said, "I'm over that age. I can talk about whatever I want to talk about."
I know TG always says, "You've earned the right at this point." And I'm like, well, maybe. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to put it on the album. I'm just going to say whatever I want to say on this project, because may or may not ever do one again. So I'm enjoying the whole part of it. And a friend of mine said the other day, they said, "You're unmanageable." And I go, yes. And I take that as a compliment.
I've been like, "Thank you very much."
Thank you very much.
That would have been fun as I'll get out. But I can't wait till the whole album drops.
Me neither. I'm taking a vacation when it's over.
'Cause
Oh,
I love the,
every
I,
song on this is a labor of love, and with
yeah.
the title of the song "Jealous Green Eyes" is a song I wrote when I was 17 years old. It's been in
Wow.
a box all this time, and I just happened to find it, and I was like, wow, where has this been
Yeah.
sitting all this time? And we went in and produced it and recreated what I originally thought was, it's quite different than what I originally wrote it as.
Hmm.
And to see it come to fruition all these years later, and then have it be on the same collection of a song I just wrote a few months ago,
Yeah.
it shows the bandwidth and the whole trajectory of my whole life as a writer. It's really cool. I can't wait to share it with you.
Well, now when you run across that song that was in that box in the back of the closet and you got it out, did you change any of it?
Nope.
Okay.
Not a word. Not a word. I recall it sounding differently, when I put it on the cassette player. That's how
Yeah.
long ago. I was like, oh my gosh, it's well written. And at the time, at 17, I was a little insecure to show it to anybody.
Yeah.
But at this stage in my life, I'm able to go, no, that's quality. There's something there that, the production even took it up a different notch and made it a bit more current. And
Yeah.
so it changed as far as that goes. The productions are always different the longer you go, but it fit right in. And I cannot wait to share the album cover with you. It's really unique, and it's a throwback from me from years before too, but I can't share that yet. I can't wait to share it. the CD or the singles that we'll be dropping, like we dropped I Reached for Red first,
Yeah.
and then we're dropping Hollywood this week. We're going to be dropping a single a month until the album comes out. And each of the photos from this photo shoot were taken from Conway Twitty's grandson, Trey Twitty. He's an incredible
Awesome.
photographer as well as singer.
That is awesome. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's I'm giddy. I can't wait, because when I seen, the whole jealous green eyes thing, and I'm like, what is Kelly up to?
Well, to be honest, I hadn't really thought about putting a self-penned album together, because like I said, it's a lot of heavy lifting. It takes a lot of mental space, and I'm sure TG wants his wife back. But it engrosses me. Like in the night, I think of promotional ideas and fun things we can do for the fans, and ways we can, share the music differently than we did the last album that I wrote. I'm grateful that I had a few co-writers on this project, because I love to highlight other people's art too. It's been fun to bring people along on this ride, and I'm really learning to enjoy the process of videos. That's another level of creation that I've been really digging into, and so we'll be having a video per each of the singles that come out as well.
Well, see, that's something I love, because you've got that producer type mind, but then you've got the artist type mind, and you can actually wrap it all together.
I try. I don't know if people envision that, but I see the full picture when I'm writing the song, and I can see how it could evolve, sometimes I like videos that are a little bit more evasive, that you don't have to put a pinpoint as to what it was, but like the song Hollywood, you can't help but just go Hollywood. I'm not saying another word about her, but you can only put your imagination together, and there's just so much you can put on that will actually air, or that YouTube will allow you to say, but it's a PG version of what she really is.
I love it. I can't wait. And that's coming out. That's
Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday.
What
Everything
time?
is coming quickly. Midnight. At midnight, you can say, Alexa, play Hollywood by Kelly Lang, and by gosh, she'll have it on there.
That'll be
the
awesome.
Coolest thing.
I can't wait. Now, how did the previous release, how did it do?
Weirdly well. Hold on. I mentioned Alexa, and she's talking now. Alexa, off. Weirdly well. And you know what? I didn't know what to expect, because it's been a minute, and I thought people would be like, oh gosh, give it a break. I feel like I'm hair on a biscuit. I won't go away. But it just has been well received. People are excited to hear new music. And the compliment that I'm getting, which I am just floored by, is that people are liking the 90s vibe to the songs. Yeah. And it's maybe it's just the era that I loved the most, the 80s and 90s era. I married it. I might as well love it, right?
Exactly.
But it's just in my DNA. I love the sounds, and I love the new, but yet, vintage kind of vibes that we're getting. And it was even, my writing was compared to KT Oslin recently. So I will take that all day long, Oh, yeah. The type of songs that we are putting on this project are very KT-ish, I would say. So it was a huge compliment that somebody would recognize that. Oh, yeah. I love that, because the last thing you put out, I believe, wasn't it you and TG's Christmas? Yeah, we did that in this last November, December. Yeah. And we had recorded several songs that we just have loved over the years. Tender Tennessee Christmas was the title of that album. But prior to that, I did an album called Dragonfly, which it consisted of a lot of songs that I had written, and some, basic classic hymnals kind of thing on there. Yeah. But I had an album called Obsession that was totally self-penned, and that was like in 2017. So it's been a minute since I've really put a self-penned album together. That is wild. Yeah. I can't wait. I think it's going to do really good, because that's one thing that I've noticed, especially with a lot of these younger artists. They're going back towards that 80s, 90s vibe. And you're able to do something with it, because
you lived it, you know?
Well, the funny thing lately, I'm authentically that age. Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. I love that. That's a very kind way of saying, girl, you're old. I don't know.
You're not a day past 40. I don't care what they say.
I don't care what they say. But I have been really tickled to watch all the videos our team has been putting up on social media lately
Yeah.
of old clips of me from, golly, when I was 12 and 17 and 23. And my kids now are looking back, go, Mom, what were you wearing? And I'm like, that was the times,
Yeah.
that's what we wore. And I am authentically that era, so it is fun to be able to, like I said, authentically go back and be who you really are. And I think that's really reflecting in the music.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I had a conversation with somebody the other day. We were talking about, you remember the old suits that they wore, like Conway and Merle and all of them with the studs and the shiny stuff
Yes.
all over them?
Oh, yes.
I would just love for that to come back just for a year.
I think it's starting to with the Malpass brothers. And I think Gene Watson still does that on occasion. And I love to go to a show and be wowed, and sometimes those clothes, you can't beat them. I'm glad TG doesn't dress like that, but I love to go and see other people dress like that.
You mean he ain't got one in the closet somewhere?
He's got some pretty fancy, classy clothes, but I don't let him go down the Porter Wagoner route.
Oh, I'd love to see him in one just for an hour. That would be cool.
I'm sure you can go through his media pages and find them, because he had some doozies. There were some clothes that he wore some really short shorts and high socks, and I'm like, what were you thinking? He says, Conway did it. And I'm like, yeah, but he shouldn't have. That's a no. Don't do that anymore.
Oh, yeah. No. It's that's what drives me nuts when I see, even men out today, they're wearing tennis shoes, socks halfway up to their knee, and then the shorts. I'm just like, dude.
They're bringing the 90s back. You can't give them, I don't know. It is what it is. Better than sandals.
Yeah,
yeah. That's
sandals and socks. Sandals and socks. I've never understood that.
Yeah. Pick one. Pick a sock, pick a sandal, not both.
They won. I don't care. Just go get a mani and a petty and come on. I mean, it'd be fun. Right. It'd be nothing but awesome. So have you got any clue when the full album is going to drop?
Our intention is July sometime. I can't tell if it's first week of July, maybe third week of July. It depends on the cycle of when the singles drop. So we haven't chosen an exact date yet.
I'm writing July down.
Just July-ish. But I'm looking forward to sharing it, though. Yeah,
because I do have y'all's Christmas thing in there.
Ah, nice.
I loved it. It was so much fun.
Thank you. We had a blast recording that.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, it's what I told y'all before. It's just something very unique about the way you and TG sing together, and then the new music that you're putting out now with that whole 90s type vibe to it and throwing a little bit of a risque to it. I mean, oh my God, I just can't wait.
Well, TG has been in my life for a very long time, and I truly respect his judgment on songs. And, it's really cool to have a partner in your life that you can bounce things off of and know you're truly going to get an expert opinion. And I can see how it would be difficult for some people to work with their spouse so closely, and go to the same office or whatever. But it works for us because I have true respect for who he is and what he's done. And if I didn't have great respect for him, it would be maybe butting of heads or egos or whatever. But I am well aware of his success. But saying that, I have a different talent than he does in particular. Like he and I've written together before, but that's not what he loves, and he would prefer to perform than write. I prefer to write than perform. So it really blends beautifully together. And he has sat down here with me and listened to these songs more than I want to, more than I mean, he'll go, we've got to listen to these mixes again. We've got to listen to this mastering again.
Yeah.
And he is so into this particular project. He says it's the best one I've ever done. And I wouldn't say that myself because I'm too close to the forest, but I'm choosing to believe him. You know, he's not a yes guy. He won't tell me something if it's not indeed something he feels. And for him to really be into this music, it thrills me. It really does.
Well, I mean, and I got to be honest, as long as y'all been married and together, I have actually in my head thought, like, whether you're recording in the booth, running the vocals, or he's recording and running the vocals, I could just see y'all just watching each other like,
We do. We do. Matter of fact, there's one song coming up. It's going to be one of the singles from this. It's a song I wrote called This Too Shall Pass.
Yeah.
And it is a song that I wrote when TG was out of town, actually. And as I'm writing it, I began to cry. Like, I thought, why am I so emotional singing this? What is going on with this? So when I picked him up at the airport, I'm like, TG, I just am in the process of writing this song, and I began to cry when I wrote it. And he was like, yeah. He just didn't think much about it, you know? And I'm like, no, but listen to these lyrics. He goes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, when we go into the studio and the musicians started playing what I have been hearing in my head, and it came out on the, you know, the screen as to everything I was hearing. And then they added the timpanis, and they added the strings, and they added the bagpipes that are in it. I looked over in the corner, and guess who was crying? PG was so moved emotionally that ends up being his favorite song on the project. And I'm like, what are you crying for? He goes, this song is just so emotional. And I'm like, oh, now you get it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He's gotten so into the lyrics and the melodies and the productions. And it's just such a thrill to have my best friend in the world and my singing partner really, really support what I do. And I will never, I don't know. I'm just very grateful, very, very blessed.
And you know, everybody listening to that, they're sitting there going, oh, and then you get that half that is like jealous as all get out.
Well, I don't mean it to make somebody jealous. It's just, you know, the thing is, TG and I have both been in relationships that didn't work, and we've both been through divorce, and we've both had down times. So honestly, that's why we appreciate this, because we know a good thing from a bad thing, you know. And we're there he is walking through the field here. We know why we appreciate something is because we have been through something that wasn't that great. So if you're in a position and you're hearing me, you're going, you know, this is great. Just hang on. Maybe your love will come along. I've never known a love like this before. I really haven't, and I probably never will. And so I hang on to it for dear life.
That is awesome. I love it. It's just, you got dogs barking over there. I got a dog barking over here.
Good, we're tied.
But I love that whole thing when you can actually find that person, and then you're just like at the other person with what they're doing and what they're creating. And
I'm a big fan of his. And you know, it sounds like I'm a germ or something. I don't mean it to be like that. I'm just a fan. I've always been a fan of his. I know what it took to get who he is, you know, and I know the hard work he's put into it and the dedication, and I have great respect for him. And he's the same with me, you know, and it just works. I wish I could bottle it. I'd be a very wealthy girl if I could bottle what we have here. But you know, it's really interesting. We don't take it for granted. We tell each other how we feel every single day, good, bad, and indifferent. I mean, there's times that I'm like, I don't like what you're wearing, or I don't like what you said, or whatever. So we go head to head and toe to toe. But I think that's why he likes me too, though, is because I am not a yes person.
Yeah.
I've got a funny story to tell you. When I was 15, and I've known him all my life, so I don't know I don't really know a time I didn't know him.
Yeah.
But I was 15 and he was doing a show in Oklahoma City. And I was there with my mom, and he was at Doc Severance's place in Oklahoma City. And he
Hmm.
asked if we wanted to come on his bus and hear his upcoming single that was going to be had. And I said, sure. So we went up on his bus, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to his next single. And I didn't say anything because I was told that if you don't have nothing nice to say, you don't say nothing at all, right? So I didn't.
Right.
Wasn't my favorite song. He goes, "Hey, you don't like my song?" And I go, "Well, it's okay. It's not my type of song. I like when you sing love songs. I like when you sing like more individuals." He goes, "Wait, what? You're 15 years old?" And I'm like, "Yes." I said, "I have an opinion. You asked my opinion." And he said, "Wait, you don't this is going to be a number one song." I said, "Oh, I'm aware of that. I know that it
Yeah.
will be, and I respect that part, but it's not my favorite song." So I didn't think a thing about it. I just being me. So when we got together and dating years ago, he goes, "Hey, do you remember that night on the bus when you said you didn't like me?" I said, "Oh my God, he remembers." But I think the fact that I'm not a yes person, he knows where he stands with me, and not very many people have that authenticity in their relationship, But I still don't like the song.
Yeah.
I won't tell you what it is, but I don't. It's not my favorite.
The weird part about it though is a lot of people, I mean, and
And it
this
did
is a
become a
sad,
number one, by the way.
oh, well, I figured, but when you when you reach a little bit of success and status and everything, that's one of the hardest things. It's like, yes, people are all around you.
But I feel them out though. I'm very sensitive.
Mhm.
And if I sense that somebody's like that, I just back away from them.
Yeah.
I'd rather have somebody be very blunt with me and tell me how it really is than to give me, sugar and coating. I don't know. I can read through people real quick.
Yeah. Because that's one thing has always bothered me because I don't know if you do it, but I get a lot of songs and people are playing them and then they say, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Do you want the truth or you want a good lie?" And
Well, I tend to not listen to many songs because I don't ever want to be accused of taking somebody's idea from a song. So I don't take
oh
unsolicited
yeah,
songs anymore. I once did, and yeah, I'd never want to hurt somebody's feelings because I will come across as very. They call me Blunt Kelly for a reason.
yeah, exactly.
Ask TG.
I think it's awesome. Kelly, I can't wait. I'm going to tune in midnight, April 10th. That's this Friday.
Actually, Thursday at midnight. You can
Oh, I can do it on Thursday.
yeah, Thursday
Okay,
night at midnight. Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna holler at. I can't say the name because
I know. I
yeah.
know.
Everybody's listening. I'm gonna listen to Hollywood, and I am excited to hear it.
Go back and listen to I Reach for Red so you'll get the full picture of the full album as it evolves.
Yeah,
I
that'll
want you
be
to
awesome.
hear that. That's out now.
Well, yeah. When we get done, I'm gonna go listen to it again.
I think you'll enjoy both of them.
I just, I love everything you're doing, hon. I
Thank
mean,
you.
I love your vocals. I love how you're getting all this music together, and I love that you found that song in a box because I'm one of those guys that thinks no matter where that song has been hidden, it needs to come out. It needs to be heard.
Well, I'm of the belief that timing is everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things I've written 15 years ago that evolves eventually, like I wrote the Tennessee State song that's recently been named that. And that song was written 16 years before. And it was
Wow.
just sitting in a vault. Nobody really paid much attention to it until the governor heard it. And all of a sudden I'm like, well, so nothing is written in vain. Nothing is created in vain. And I'm very patient, obviously, because things in my life tend to come around many, many years later. And
Yeah.
it's just so much fun to still be here And, you know, I'm a 22-year breast cancer survivor. So if I hadn't lived like they told me I wouldn't live, I wouldn't have seen any of this come to fruition. So I'm
Yeah.
just thrilled to still be here to hear anything that's coming around.
I love the fact that you're a survivor, and I hate to say this, but it's something my granddaddy told me a long time ago. After going through years of fighting different things and everything else, this is why they call it the golden years of your life.
Oh yeah, it is golden, and it's when you can appreciate it and you can look back and go, wow, I wouldn't do that again, or I would do that. You know, you have more wisdom, and if I could just look like I did when I was 20, that would be fabulous.
I know, right? I'm
I'm hanging in there, but woo, it takes longer to get ready every day.
Takes longer to get out of bed every day.
Amen, bud. Amen. I get it.
All right, Kat, we're going to get off here, and thank you so much for filling me in and let me know what all's going on. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you for your listening and playing new stuff. It's exciting to have new places to share my music. It's really cool.
I love it. All right, hon, be good, and
Thank you.
when you get a chance, make TG a little bowl of popcorn or something and tell him to behave.
That ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna make him take me to dinner is what I'm gonna do.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, David.
All right, we'll see you soon, hon.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody, please remember to, it's on the little thing right there. There you go. Like, share, follow, and subscribe. You don't realize how much it does help. Helps this podcast, helps all these artists, everything. If you want one of these artists in your town, like, share, follow, subscribe, help build their numbers up. And those booking agents, they read that, they look at it, and that's how they base their opinion of getting that artist to that town. So y'all go and do that. Take care of it. And don't forget, according to Kelly, Thursday night at midnight, you can actually listen to her new song, Hollywood. And it is from the Jealous Green Eyes album that is going to be released in July. I know y'all heard the first one. This is the second one. I can't wait. I want the whole album is what I want. So we'll see and we'll have fun. And I will be listening to it Thursday night. All right, y'all. Be good. Love you. Mean it. Bye.